If you're sick of getting stuck at the same amount of body fat every time you go on a diet, where you lose fat everywhere but still have that layer of fat covering your abs, then this video is for you. So you start your diet, you find your maintenance, and you start slowly cutting calories or adding more activity. At first, it's smooth sailing. The weight is dropping until you reach a plateau where the scale is just not moving. And that's usually the moment where most people think, this is just not for me. Maybe my genetics just won't allow me to get leaner than this, and this is the furthest I can go. But what if I tell you that there's nothing inherently wrong with your genetics and that all of this is to be expected? See, when you stay in a calorie deficit for a long period of time, your body goes through something called metabolic adaptation. It's a survival mechanism. When your body senses food scarcity, it starts to preserve energy to keep you alive. And that's how our gathered ancestors survived famine. So the problem isn't that your genetics are broken, it's that your biology is doing exactly what it's supposed to be doing. But the question is, how do you keep on getting leaner despite your biology going against you? Now, before I answer that, my name is Nas, and I've been in this exact same position. I went on a dreamer bulk, I got too fat, and started dieting. Crash dieted, got fat again, crash dieted, got fat again, and I just went through that cycle more times than I can count. But eventually, I figured out a solution to not only get a six-pack, but keep it off without suffering, without having food focus, and without my life revolving around fitness. Today, I sit around 10 to 12% body fat year-round, and I only diet down for 30 days every 6 months. Now, the first mistake that keeps people stuck in the same position is dieting too aggressively. Remember metabolic adaptation I was talking about? The faster you slash calories and add more activity, the faster the adaptation occurs. You might lose weight quickly at the start, but your body hits the brakes almost immediately. And that's why most people crash into a wall after only a few weeks of dieting. But the solution isn't going painfully slow either. It's by going control, by making adjustments worth about 200 to 300 calories at a time, and not making any further adjustments until you've actually stalled for at least 3 consecutive days. And that way, we can make sure that fat loss is going smooth sailing without our body going survival mode. Now, another big mistake is using the wrong calorie burning tool. See, the problem with high intensity cardio, if you're not used to it, is that it creates a lot of fatigue. And fatigue kills your need, your subconscious daily movements that are outside of exercise. The harder the cardio, especially if you're not used to it, the more your body compensates by moving less throughout the day without you even realizing. And that's why walking is king for fat loss. When you walk more, you don't tank your knee. You still have plenty of energy to move around, running errands, and doing your life. When you run, you sit. When you walk, you just carry on like nothing happened. It's essentially free calories being burned. Because remember, at the end of the day, it's not about how much calories you're burning through exercise, but your total daily expenditure. But what if I tell you that even if you get both of these points right, third point is why 99% of diets fail. See, most people are actually successful in creating a deficit and losing weight, but 99% of diets fail because of one thing: most people cannot keep the weight off. This is what brings me to my next point, which is reverse dieting. This is the skill that almost nobody applies. Here's what you need to do. The moment the scale stalls for at least 3 to 5 consecutive days, and you notice the quality of your life deteriorating, low libido, low drive, brain fog, you're eating like a bird and doing hours of cardio, this is where you need to press the red button, which is the reverse diet. By slowly introducing more calories and reducing the activity from exercise, this could be the exact same opposite of what you did when creating a deficit. We slowly make adjustments of 200 to 300 calories to food or energy expenditure when the scales tells us to. Same thing applies here, just in the opposite way. Not when you feel like eating more or making any emotional decisions, but we're going purely rational right here. This is key, and this is why most people fail. And I'll be honest, this phase could be harder than the deficit itself. Only a couple of binges here and there can wipe out all the progress you did during your dieting phase. And this is what I teach to all my clients, because mastering the reverse dieting phase is essentially what's going to allow us to reach our goals. And this is where having somebody hold you accountable comes into play. Now, I'm taking a couple of clients for the New Year's. If you're interested, there's going to be a link down below. Fill up the application, and if you're a good fit, I'll reach out. We'll schedule a call, and I'll take you throughout the entire program. Let's get back to the video. Now, my final point is just as important as all of these, because most people try to force fat loss in one long push, which is ultimately going to set you up for failure. Let's say, for example, you start at 30% body fat, and your goal is to get to 10%. The chances of you doing it in one shot and keeping it off are very slim, because most people are going to hit that extreme metabolic adaptation at some point in the middle. So instead of forcing it and bouncing back up right where you started, or even worse, you cycle phases of deficit to maintenance till you reach your goals. The maintenance phase is what's going to restore your body's ability to keep on burning fat. See, the problem was never the body fat itself, but it's about how do you get to that body fat. And here's a bonus tip most people need to hear. The plan will actually never be perfect. You're gonna have occasions with family and work that's gonna push calories further than expected, days where you miss on your steps because you were running a bunch of errands or have long work hours, times where life gets in the way. And this is where you need to set your expectations right. See, even bodybuilders that go on contest preps cannot perfectly follow the plan 100% of the time. So expecting that from you, a person with a normal life, a normal job, is just not realistic. You reaching your goals is gonna purely be determined by the accumulation of days, weeks, and months, not having a couple perfect days here and there. One of my favorite quotes from Lane Norton is, "Do not let perfection be the enemy of better." Once you understand that, everything becomes easier. And if you need help navigating through all this and need somebody to hold you accountable, then click the link down below and apply for my one-on-one coaching application. I have very limited spots, so don't wait around. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.